Okay, if you're currently 20 and you're struggling with direction and you're struggling with what to do with your life and how to figure out what you want to do and where to go, I'm here to remind you that you're not lazy, you just lack exposure. And let me explain this simply for you guys. Majority of people spend Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, focus working on their day to day, their jobs, their tasks, and just paying the bills and going about their day just to survive. Now, I want you guys to take advantage of Saturdays and Sundays. I want you guys to take advantage of the time to sit back, reflect, and plan your future. And what I mean by that is to look for exposure. Have conversations with people, have conversations with yourself, have conversations with AI, and search for a different reality. Okay? Now, whether that's watching YouTube videos, whether that's going out talking to business owners, entrepreneurs, people that you are inspired by, I want you to take time out of your weekend, sit down, put away all the distractions, and really think about where you want to be. For example, for me, 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, I'm focused on school, the gym, and my job. Now, on the weekends, if I wanted to take my life to the next level, I have to go out of my way, research, for example, how to start a pharmacy. Okay? How do I start a pharmacy? Have a conversation with ChatGPT. What licenses do I need? How do I get the capital? Who can I reach out to? You know, whether it's through LinkedIn, calling up pharmacies, talking to pharmacy owners, and getting as much information of their life and their current reality as a business, as a pharmacy owner, their day to day, seeing what that looks like and seeing if that's something I want to pursue. You know, only thing I lack from anybody in this world is information. And if I'm able to just spend an hour of my day outreaching, researching, watching videos, whatever the case may be, getting exposure on a different reality, and seeing if that's the reality I want to live in, so something I want to work towards too, that could just simply change my life. You know, very simply said. Like on the contrary, on the other side, right? If you're just a normal college student and you're just going by a day, you're focused on your grades, your exams, and jobs that lead into your career field, right? Internships, stuff like that, research opportunities. The issue with this is you're operating on the basis of creating experiences in a resume where you're committed to the degree, you're committed to the tradition around of finding a job through that. And if you're somebody who wants a different way out and you want to be able to create your own path and not solely rely on the traditional path, you must be thinking about other ways of making money. And not just thinking about other ways of money, you have to consistently expose yourself to other realities. You know, like for example, you would want to expose yourself to somebody who's also creating content while being in school. You want to expose to someone who's also 20, making more than 200K while still in school. You know, I live a completely different reality from a lot of people, but seeking the exposure and getting information from my life and my experiences will provide you with your own choices, your own thoughts on what you want to do. Whether it's either real estate, speaking with other entrepreneurs who work on different businesses, whatever the case is, making money online, entrepreneurship, social media, you have to constantly expose yourself to other people's lives and other people's reality, understanding that it's real, it's possible, and drawing the gap between where you are with the information you know and where they are with the information they know, and connecting the dots in between. Now, everybody's going to have their own path. You're not going to have exactly one mentor that's going to teach you everything. You might get lucky, but as long as you constantly outreach, ask questions, you'll slowly start putting the pieces together and understand what it would look like if you pursue that. Now, this is solely for people who want a better life for themselves, you know? And the biggest takeaway is like, one thing I personally don't understand is when people pursue college and they're in this college route, they're, in my eyes, they're accepting the fact that they need 4 years to get a degree, and with the 4 years, they're guaranteed 100K salary. And realistically, they're not thinking about making 100K a month. They're not thinking about making millions a month. They're committing to that 100K salary and slowly growing up within the companies. And if you really want opportunity, you have to seek it. You have to seek it and be exposed to it, you know? Especially living in New York, there's millions of dollars everywhere. There's millionaires everywhere. There's billionaires in the city. There's new ideas coming out every single year. With AI improving, with technology improving, there's always a new way, a new form, a new formula that you can either create yourself or replicate and learn from. And for those who are busting their ass, working 9 to 5, living paycheck, not living paycheck to paycheck, but receiving like $16 an hour, $18 an hour, and just stacking their money, I want you guys to know, like, you guys aren't lazy. You guys are just not exposing yourself for new opportunities, new realities, new lifestyles. And I'll advise you to take the weekends, sit down for at least an hour and think for yourself. Have a conversation with ChatGPT. This is where I currently am. What are new jobs that I can work, that I can transition into, that might be position myself better? Who can I talk to that I could build a relationship with and could provide me valuable experiences, valuable knowledge to the direction I can take my life? And just seek information, seek different realities, seek knowledge, and try new things. Don't be afraid to fail, but most importantly, don't be comfortable and complacent with your life. It's easy to show up every single day. It's harder to seek growth and seek knowledge, especially when the future is unknown, you know? I could tell you, looking back from the last 2 years, oh, I did X, Y, and Z, and I got to where I am. But in the moment of me working those jobs, jumping from job to job, I had no idea that what I'm currently doing right now exists. I had no idea that's even possible. So if I knew the information I had right now back then, I would definitely I definitely would position myself here a lot faster, a lot sooner. But all I had was showing up and trying new things and looking for new opportunities. And a lot of you guys aren't going to understand where you're going to be unless you show up every day and you ask questions. You're open to new ideas. You're open to new experiences. You're open to different forms of living, different forms of life. That's the only way you're able to expose yourself to another reality that somebody else is living in, and how you can basically replicate and create your own path towards something similar. So I want you guys to take Saturdays, Sundays, not only time just to relax, but reflect. Reflect on your Mondays to Fridays. Reflect on your 9 to 5. Reflect on your habits. Reflect on who you're talking to. Reflect on the different lifestyles other people have, and ask questions. Be open to start a conversation. You know? If somebody went up to me and asked me, yo, how do you do what you do? I'll be more than happy to actually take time out of my day and actually give them a different perspective, a different reality that they would never believe in, because they never had that growing up.